I like chocolate and coffee and a VO273 and breakfast with Bob. Oh, yeah.
Macho Man! Welcome. Day 3, Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are brought to you by EAA Smileplex, Hoka One Polar Velo Fix, Normatec 4 Seasons Hualalai, MEO Power Breather. Our next guest, 5th last here in Kona, Kaisa Sali. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. How are you, Bob?
Very good. Put this guy right up close to you.
Yeah.
There you go. So, last year, 5th place. Did you surprise yourself?
Yeah, it was quite a surprise to be on that high placing. Like, I wasn't expecting so good a race, although I've been dreaming about this race for a long, long time, and I had been preparing quite well, but still a 5th place was a huge success for me.
So, from Finland, you're originally trying to make the Olympic team.
Yeah, like the first
ITU.
goal for me in triathlon was to make it to the Olympics.
Yes, and wanted to be the first Finnish athlete to make it to the Olympics.
Yeah, I was trying hard to be that first one, but then I decided to follow my heart and go for the longer distances, and I think these have been pretty good for me.
Well, when I look back, you were 12 years old, and you had your little pink bike. And now, had you watched Ironman on TV?
Yeah, just my father told me about this crazy sports that's held in this beautiful island where it's super hot, and then the people are first swimming like 3.8 Ks, and then they are biking for 180 Ks, and then they are running a whole marathon. And yeah, I was only 12, but I just thought that, whoa, this must be something insanely great and so cool, and I want to try it someday. And yeah, I just would have liked to try the whole thing like right on, but I didn't get the permission for the whole thing. But on one beautiful day, I took my pink little mountain bike and went out for a ride and did the whole 180 Ks. So
What I love is you went with Dad, right? And you did 172K.
Yeah.
And he thought you were done, right? He said, and then you looked at the odometer and was like, no.
Yeah.
We have 8 more K to go here.
Yeah, actually, it was only 172 Ks to my grandma's house where we were heading, and my father was like, he was a bit exhausted and wanted to go inside to have some nice pancakes and stuff like that. But I was just totally mad because, yeah, I had been said that we will do 180 Ks and not 172, so we had to do a bit of an extra loop.
So you're a little stubborn.
Yeah,
I love that. Wow. And so London was the goal originally. And was it after London that you decided to move up and go a little longer, 70.3?
My first goal was to go to Beijing Olympics and then to London, and I was the first one to drop out in that European ranking system from both games.
Yes.
But then, I was still after London trying to head to Rio Olympics, but then I met my now husband Markus in 2015, and then we had some pretty deep discussions also about the sports.
Yes.
And what the triathlon is about for me. And then I just looked deep inside to my heart and decided that, okay, I've been dreaming about this Hawaiian Ironman for the whole life, so that's something I have to do. And I just felt maybe a little bit that the Olympic distance thing had been like me trying to show to the other world and to Finland something, and just to try to be that first Finnish athlete in the Olympics. And I had just that outside of pressure too much for that thing.
Yes.
And I think my own goal has always been this Hawaiian Ironman. And yeah.
From when you were 12 years old.
Yeah.
You always wanted to do Ironman. So there's a word that's on your website. Is Sisu?
Yeah, Sisu.
Sisu. Now explain that. What does Sisu mean?
Yeah, Sisu is a pretty famous Finnish word. There's not an exact translation to it, but you could say it's like guts and determination and not giving up in any kind of situation. I think the origin for that word maybe coming from the old days when we Finns were living in that kind of really tough conditions.
Right.
It was cold and we just had to survive. So the word comes from there.
Courage, heart, all of that.
Yeah, all of that.
Makes that up.
Yeah.
And when did you get to the point after you transitioned from the Olympic format where you felt, okay, this is right, I made the right decision?
Yeah, I actually did my first Ironman already then on 2015. I had been preparing for it properly for a few months, and in that race I was second. I did lose like 2 minutes to Ivan van Vlerken, but my time was like 8 hours 48 minutes, and I just thought when I crossed the finishing line that, oh, I never thought that I could be this fast on this distance. So yeah, that was the first time that I really knew that this is for me.
And what year was that?
2015.
Oh, in 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then in 16, what, a third at Ironman 70.3 Dubai and first at the Ironman African Championships.
Yeah, like in it, the Ironman African Champs was my second Ironman ever, and I did win it. So it was maybe even a bigger surprise than the second place in Barcelona before.
Right. Oh, and then when you go to 70.3 champs and Wiesbaden, the European champs, and get fifth there, then you know you're on the right path. You're racing against the best people in Europe.
Yeah.
And talk about the experience of doing this race and just how your day went last year here in Kona.
Oh, it was such an adventure. I just loved every piece of the day.
Yes.
Like, my swim wasn't maybe the best one, but it was pretty okay. Anyway, I was a bit farther back after the swim, and I felt that, okay, I haven't even started racing. I was just so full of energy in the start of the bike, and I went out hard. I came off the water with like the best bikers in the women's field, like Melissa Hausilt, and was there Heather Jackson as well.
Yes.
Really good bikers, but I left them. I was like, okay, now I'm in Kona, I will push it.
Oh, so you dropped
I
them.
went like a lot faster for the first like 40Ks, and then I started to fall down a little bit.
Yes.
And then when we were going up Havi, they just flew past me.
They went by you.
Yeah, but anyway, so I was full of energy in that race, and then I just decided at the end of the bike that, okay, now I will be super calm on the run, and I will take it easy and pace myself properly. But I started to run like maybe like 10 seconds after Rini from the T2, and then at 1K mark I had catched her up.
Wait, you caught Rini?
Yeah, I caught Rini, and then at that point there was Markus on
the side of the road.
On the side of the road, yeah. And I asked him that, is this really Rini I'm running with? I'm just a huge fan of Rini.
You're running with someone you're a fan of.
Yeah,
yes.
and then Markus said that, yeah, it's Rini. And I was like, okay, then I have to calm down, but I just couldn't handle myself. I went like
you ran by
faster.
her.
Yeah. And, like, okay. I don't know if I should tell this, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And at about 5K mark, people were yelling that I'm like 19 seconds like ahead of Rini.
Yes.
And then at
turn around up there.
No, not at the turnaround, but maybe at 10K or something.
Yes.
Timo Pratt, my teammate from Team Sports
Yes.
for Good, came like to me, and he was yelling like insane that, calm down, you girl, like you really have to take it easy. And yeah, then I did pace myself maybe a bit better,
A bit better.
Yeah, Rini went a bit.
She went a
faster,
bit.
yeah, but yeah.
But you still held
I
on.
had fun, and I did a good race anyway.
Yes, you got fifth.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Sport for Good. What do you got? What do you do?
Yeah, so Sport for Good, Team Sport for Good is a German-based international triathlon team, and we have a really close cooperation with Laureus Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah, Laureus Foundation is a charity foundation, and the main goal for that foundation might be, like you could say, that just to try to make the world a bit of a better place through incorporating sports into especially young people's lives who have some difficulties maybe with drugs or poverty or things like this.
Right.
So I think like maybe the first man who was putting this stuff, like who was, yeah.
The guy who started.
The guy who started this was Nelson Mandela, and he said that sports has the power to change the world.
It does.
And
there's no question.
I think it's like so beautifully said. And I'm like really, really grateful for being part of this thing. So yeah, it's quite cool.
what did you, being here on this island, and the age of 12, you wanted to be part of this, and then you're here.
Yeah.
And what was just that whole experience like for you, just being on the sacred soil of Kona?
Yeah, it's just like, it was just insane last year to be here. I was like so happy every day, but I'm like so happy this year as well. So, like, it has been that I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning and I'm like hopping out of bed and woo, it's another day in here in Kona. And Markus is getting a bit insane already. He's like, oh, just calm down.
Mellow down.
I just love this island.
So that's, I mean, people come here and some people either love it or some people get off the airplane and are like, oh my God, the heat, the wind, and they get intimidated by it.
Yeah,
it seems like you loved it as soon as you got off the plane.
Yeah, I just love it. It's like, this is a super duper tough place, and in that race there's no place to hide.
None.
It's just like, you just have to survive. And it will be tough for everyone. I think even the winners will be facing some phases that they just would like to quit and they really have to suffer. So yeah, it's cool.
And so this year you were 5th at Ironman 70.3 Dubai in your running shoes.
Yeah.
What happened?
I think it was like one of the women had quit the race during the bike leg, and the organizers had given her my running shoes.
Your running shoes?
Yeah. So then I was in T2 and I didn't find my running shoes anywhere, and I was running there around for a few minutes, and then I just decided, okay, I'll go barefoot.
No way!
Yeah.
For a half marathon.
You know, the Africans also run barefoot, so why not try that? And I just ran to Paul, and he did like call to Markus that he would take my training sneakers to some point of the run course, and I went out barefoot, and yeah, I did that.
How far did you run barefoot?
Just a few Ks, and then I got my training shoes, so luckily.
And you got 5th place. You got 5th place.
Yeah, I was 5th. Yeah.
Well, so after running barefoot, that when you go to 2nd at the Ironman Africa Champs, that must have been not a problem, right?
Yeah, no.
You had shoes.
Yeah,
shoes
I had
wear.
shoes, so it was so much easier.
So now that once you finish on the podium here, once you finish 5th, then people think there's really no reason you can't move up on the podium. 1, 2, 3. Is that the goal for this year? And also, you're working with Siri Lindley.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been working with Siri Lindley for this year. After last year's Kona race, I did change my coach. I had been working with my former coach, Paul Sörholm, for 18 years.
Oh my God,
yeah,
18 years.
18 years, so it's a really long time. And obviously our cooperation was great, but after last year's Kona, we both felt that, okay, now we need something new. And
to get you to the next level.
Yeah. And then I did contact Siri, and I knew that, yeah, she's the one who will be able to take everything out of me. And it's been just awesome to work with her.
And you've been in Boulder?
Yeah, I've been mostly in Boulder for the summer.
And I mean, Siri's enthusiasm sort of matches yours.
Yeah, she's like super passionate, and you can just imagine how our training sessions are like, because there's like 2 of us at 5 o'clock in the pool, like, ooh, another day in the office.
And everybody else is like, shut up. It's early. Yeah. Mellow it out. What would you be happy with this year at this race?
If I can do my own good performance. Yeah, it may sound lame, I know, but that's like the only goal I can have, and I'm sure that's the way for me to perform best. Like being able to see how fast I can go on that course, it really, really motivates me.
Yes.
Although the times do like depend on the weather and everything, but anyway, like I feel that I can do a lot better than last year.
Really?
A lot better, yeah, considering the performance.
Yes.
But I'm also sure that so can the other women.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we all are like at the best shape of our lives, and just if you can get that out on the race day, that's all you can wish for.
You know, the nice thing about this race, this is about as close to the Olympics as you can get in terms of having the best people at their best form on the most important stage in the world.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you like that.
Yeah, I just love it because this is like the only race during the whole year where we all best Ironman athletes are racing, so it's really cool.
Love it. How about a round of applause for Kaisa Sali? Poncho Man, take us out.
He said Sisu. Hawaiian say imua. She said Sisu. Hawaiian say imua. Breakfast with Bob.
Poncho Man.